really upset about that, several fans.
Yeah.
But I guess, so 6 episodes. You think you can finish it all in 6 satisfying?
Yeah, I think so. Can do it.
How excited are you about the final 6?
Very excited. I mean, I'm excited because I know that the final 6, it's hard to understand, but one of the most frustrating things for me is not knowing. When you don't know how long, and when you enter a series, you don't know. Unless you're on the BBC, when you've said, we're going to be this many episodes, and then we're done, as like they've always done all the way back to like, The Prisoner and stuff. Even and at the height of the shows, no matter how highly rated they are, like, no, this is the amount we agreed on. We're ending it. But it's this weird thing in TV where you want to try to keep going, and you might never get to tell stories you all plan to tell for years. So knowing that not only knowing it's 6, as opposed to if it's 6 and if you do well, maybe there's more, which is also frustrating. But there's 6 and then it's going to end, and it's going to end. Knowing that makes me, as a writer, able to plan for it better, way better. It's a good thing.
What can you tease about the final 6?
I think you're going to have to be more specific than that, because I don't know where to start. It would sound kind of too general. I'd be like, it's going to be exciting. I don't know.
Well, all right, how about this one? The decision to send Nikita out on her own.
Yeah.
Why did you go that route, and what kind of impact is that going to have? Is she going to be on her own for 6 episodes, or...?
She's not going to be on her own for 6 episodes, because when we sent her on her own, we knew that she was going to be alone for a certain part of the season, and then getting back together with the team would be another stage and everything. So it's just going to happen faster now because there's 6. But originally she would have been out for longer. And we wanted to take her back to that thing where she was all alone. A lone wolf.
Like first season.
Get back to that.
So I had a sort of a similar question, which is that when you see the end of the season and it's sort of a cliffhanger, it feels like the next step in the story is fairly large in scope. Can you talk about the challenges of redoing that a little bit and reining it in?
Of making it big, because we've essentially flipped the script in a way that I think is going to become apparent to people, even if they're not thinking about it yet. The fact that she's gone from anonymous to Notorious, not just known, but the way she's defined for the world now is, and she has a speech about it, I think in the first or second episode, where she talks about seeing her face everywhere on wanted posters is sort of her worst nightmare, because it's almost like all the work she's done under kind of beneath the surface when she was to redeem herself, it's all like back to zero, because she's branded as the worst person imaginable, and no one knows the truth. So, and the fact that the whole world's after her is a huge spotlight. So we're trying not to rein it in. We're trying to sort of go big with it. We have some big, I would say, kind of worldwide stakes things, like a Tom Clancy type thriller that we haven't really done before. I'm just like, screw it. We're going out. We're going out big. We want to go out smaller. So,
what do you think will excite fans the most about this?
I think what will excite fans the most is essentially getting to see Nikita reach a kind of culminating moment in her character that brings it all together, and it reminds you that there was a story being told sort of from the beginning, and that it has an ending, for her character. I think you'll have to get to the end to really get that, but that's probably what would, for me as a fan, excite me the most. I feel like I followed this person and got its story told all the way to its completion with her.
And then we have Amanda. Which, wow, what we saw in season 3 with Amanda, I just would have never guessed that was her backstory. How really screwed up she is. But wasn't the original plan she was supposed to die at the end of season 3, or she wanted Nikita to die. Can you say I don't know what's Amanda's role, or what you've got for season 4 for her?
Well, Amanda, we planned to kill Amanda, but then all it took really was to look into the crystal ball of season 4 and see that a show without her meant coming up with somebody new. Because you need a bad guy.
Yeah.
And the shop, or the group, as they are known, didn't fill the void as well. They were faceless by definition. That was their MO. And so even though they are sort of like, Nikita's always up against the man, and they're kind of the ultimate man, really, they're still not as visceral of an opponent as Amanda is. So,
Not as diabolical.
yeah.
How long have you known how the show will end?
I would say since nearing the end of last season. I didn't know. I had a plan for 3 seasons, essentially. My plans changed around halfway through the second season because of certain pressures from external pressures, and we had to change our story a little bit, but it was much more of an epic Nikita thing. That changed a bit. And so I came up with the end sort of last year for this. Hopefully it'll, by the way, hopefully it will be the end that I came up with, because like I said, I planned to kill Amanda and that didn't happen. So you gotta not be stale. You have to leave yourself open.
Are there any guests or people we'll see again that we thought we might not see again? Is there anything?
I'm hoping, I like I said, I want to bring back Ramon. I'd love to bring back, Cyrus, but because of the 6 and the limited space, it's these things that we started out saying, like, he's definitely going to be back in episode 4, and then now we're like, I don't know.
Well, okay, then Owen.
Yeah, he's definitely in all 6. He's in all 6.
Now that was also an interesting twist. He's evil.
Right.
I take it that the 6 is going to be a kind of Nikita trying to draw him towards who he was, redemption.
Yes, except she's going to have her hands full, so really that story falls into Alex's sphere.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
And we always thought that Alex and Owen were had the most in common, really, of a lot of the characters. And so it's really, they're going to have a lot of scenes together.
Well, that's cool. And Ryan. What about poor old Ryan Fletcher?
Ryan, well, he's not the boss anymore.
Yeah.
They kind of are done with that. Like, and he's got a talent, which is recognizing patterns and stuff like that. And they're going to put him back on that. I don't know if he's going to survive or not this season. Just don't know.
No.
I know.
You're killing me here. Oh, and speaking of.
And Ryan comes in and saves the day because of his...
Don't tell him what I just said.
Don't kill him.
Wait, see, what? The 3rd episode, Ryan dies?